Good morning, YouTube family. Uh, Hope everybody's having a great day. Today's Friday, January the 8th, 2021. I wanted to talk about a couple of things. Yesterday, one of my friends, got a friend out there from West Virginia. Um, he was making he had made a comment, which I've kind of thought about before. It's sometimes you think, your thoughts are so they're just matter of fact that excuse me, you realize that um so a lot of people think about things, and yet really they don't say it out loud, and so it's really just a thought. But and maybe some of y'all already know this. Of course, y'all might say, well, like, duh, but with over the years, this country has slowly been taken over. um you can't point to no one entity, but the ideology is communism. uh Slowly but surely, and really it really ramped up when Lyndon B. Johnson came to power, with the Great Society, some programs, social programs, and all that. And I understand that when I was growing up, uh, in my mind, the Democrats were for the working people, for the poor, and the Republican Party was for the upper middle class, the rich, the corporations. That was the that was the mind frame that as speaking for myself as a child. um, that's the way I saw that. I saw the two parties. One of them was for the rich, for the working man, the poor. The other was for corporations, etc. Um, the thing is that, of course, as many of y'all know, is that these two political parties work in tandem with each other. They might look like they're in conflict, but in reality, they're working in tandem. And and it's become very apparent with everything that's gone on with this, with this circus, that's what's going on. And it just verifies my feelings. It just validates my opinion about politicians and about our government in general. So the comment that my friend made, was that, the bad guys basically had won, or something to that effect. The Democrats, with their Antifa proxies, and with these agent provocateurs. um, it's all out. It's all out war, basically. I mean, we're getting hit right in the face with lies, with propaganda. And the thing that really bothers me is that the media has become weaponized, and they're basically the ministry of propaganda. All they do is lie. I mean, straight up lie. And so many people are caught up with what the media says, mainstream media like CNN, Fox, MSNBC. Those people have those news services have done a very big disservice to the people of this country, and really the world. And it's hard to get my friends and family to understand um, the depths of what's going on. They've basically hypnotized the whole country. And some of my friends, some of my family, they'll say that they know, that they lie and whatever. But the thing is that as long as the agenda is close to what they want, they'll put up with it. Some of them, some people don't really see the big picture. But again, getting back to the comment, what I was gonna say was that these people that are taking over, that have power, that are power hungry, that are spreading their ideology, it's based on greed, and they're power hungry. And the thing is that excuse me, they use the common man's integrity, and honor and our basically our good intentions, they use that against us. These people that take over power, they're entrenched now, and a lot of people say that force, force. That's what they want. They want to divide us, and they want for people to rise up so that they can have an excuse to unleash their weapons of war, their technology, that they developed with our tax dollars, basically. And and while yes, that's true, that's very true. Um, the fact of the matter is that there comes a time when um, you petitions and voting, that's not going to do any good anymore. The only really real change that you can really affect, that you can have a real change, and even that I've seen it with my own eyes, is at the city level and the county level, and even at the school district level. Even those places have become cesspools of liberal thinking, and they're basically, with the federal funds, with federal grants and stuff like that, they've sold the people out. But that is the best place to make change. If enough people stand up and say, you know what, we've had enough, that's where you can make change. And so the thing is they use people's honor, again, their integrity, their Christian values, their morality. Um, they use it to take advantage and bring about their agendas, because people won't fight back, because they feel like, well, we have to follow the law, and we're about law and order, and see, but the bad guys are not, and that's how they do it. And I'm not saying go out there and fight. I'm not saying that. I'm just making the point, and making my observation that this is how they they accomplish their goals. And also, unfortunately, they use it with people's greed. Um, their greed for easy money, credit cards, all these things. So right now, looking at everything that's going on, again, is you gotta prep for food, right? You gotta prep for water, all those things. But unfortunately, what you really gotta be preparing for, um, is how are you gonna sustain your life, to provide shelter and all that. You see, back in the day, before technology, the main thing people had to do was find somewhere to live, some shelter, how to provide food, the water, how to clothe themselves. However, that was done before technology, before modern technology. And so people have forgotten those things, how to do those things. A lot of people have. And so now we're in the modern age where, um, you can no longer just go out and do those things on your own. You gotta get permits. You gotta get all these licenses, whatever, which I think is BS. Um, but anyway, so we've come to a point where, okay, yes, you have to provide yourself with food and water, stock up, yes, but also, guys, you have to figure out a way to protect the wealth that you generate with your own hands, with whatever money that you get. You have to start thinking about how you're going to invest that. I know a lot of people don't have money to invest, but the sad thing is that um, we are at a point where we're in a paradigm change. We're going from the physical, um, a physical reality, right? I don't know how to explain it, but where you work, you create things, you make things with your own hands, something tangible, something that you can feel with your hands, and it's moving, carrying money, right? Gold, silver. It's moving into a paradigm where everything is make believe. It's up in the cloud. It's on a computer. It's on a screen. You got these people, these technocrats, um, these hedge funds, these financial people in the financial industry. They've created instruments, tools that I can't explain because they're not real, but their processes where they're making money off of us. They're making money off of your kids when they're at school, when they take tests. They even have names for them. They're they're basically like performance bonds. If your child scores above a certain grade, a certain number, that school receives funds. Though it's like a bet. They're derivatives. Okay. All I'm saying is that's another subject, but it just goes to show that no longer is this a world where you can make your money with your hands. You can all I mean, it's more than that. And really, if you think about it, the working man, the working families, people that actually produce something, it's like it's like we're the bad guy now. Or there's more things in our way. um we're instead of being rewarded for our production, for what we produce, it almost seems like we're being punished, and in a way we are. It's part of Agenda 21. um these people are evil geniuses. They don't watch TV. They don't go to the movies. They don't waste their time with trivial things. All they do is they organize and they plan uh, our destruction, and they plan how they can become more powerful. They have so much money. I mean, it really isn't even money anymore. It's all just numbers on the screen, and yet they can buy things with that, and they buy their armies. They have their police forces. They have the politicians. They control everything. So you have to not just invest your money in food and water. And some people, your freedom sticks and your freedom pellets. You don't. It's more than that. You have to invest in yourself, in your mind, in your education, because you're gonna get left behind. It's more than what you see in front of you. And I'm trying to make these videos so that maybe I'll light a spark, and and make that light bulb go off in your head. Because if not, we're gonna get left behind, and I include myself. We spend our lives trying to provide for our families. We go to work or whatever, and sometimes even that is not enough. We're caught in the rat race. We're trying to stay on, keep up with the bills or whatever, keep up with the cost of living, and we don't really have time to study or to change our situation. But you have to do something, and like I said, I include myself. um there's ways to do it, but you gotta take the time. You gotta take the time, guys. Invest in yourself. Think about your kids, your grandkids, because we're leaving them a world of shit. That's the future. A lot of people say, well, we get our checks in the mail, we have benefits or whatever. Man, those benefits can be turned off at any time, and it's not good to depend on that. um there can be a power outage, there can be something, and your checks, or the government can say, you know what, we can't do it this month or whatever, and they'll cut it. Another thing is that all this money that's getting printed up, and they're passing that out to the people. As that happens, every time they do that, the money that you have in your hands, in your pocket, it loses value by a fraction, because they're printing out so much money. And so you have to, again, educate yourself and Stop watching the TV. Stop watching, paying attention to what these newscasters are telling you, because it's not. It's called the newscast for a reason. They're literally hypnotizing you and lying to you. I know I get a lot of pushback from my friends, and I understand. I used to be in their shoes. I used before I um looked into things, and I realized that I was living in a false reality. I thought the same way they did, and I understand why they're telling me what they tell me, or why they disagree. Um, some of the news media and the threads, I'll get on there and I'm like, I can't help myself. I'll comment on it, but you should see some of the comments that these people make. It's ridiculous. It sounds retarded. I'm sorry to be politically incorrect, whatever, but they literally sound like infants. And I'm just trying to warn them. I'm trying to wake them up. But they're protecting the very system that is enslaving them, guys. So I'm not gonna stop. I know, like, my videos, they don't really have so many. They don't have a lot of views. I don't have a lot of subscribers. Um, and I realize that probably the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, is not gonna really spread my videos out. I understand. Um, but hopefully y'all can help spread this word, because I know somebody put a video out years ago, 11 years ago, that helped me to wake up. And 10 years ago, sorry, 10 years ago. And because of that person putting out that video, I woke up. They woke up one person. And I know I've woken up some people too, so it helps. You never know what you might say. You might wake up somebody. And there's a saying that no army can defeat an idea whose time has come. That's true. But I mean, these people have created a satanic world dominating system. That's how I can put it. People, their thoughts are not even their own anymore. They literally can control what you think, how you think, by the way they indoctrinate you on the TV and in the public schools. It's getting to the point where people can't even think for themselves. They make a coherent, independent thought. Everything is it's been corrupted. Excuse me, by the world they live in. So again, guys, try to think of ways that you can invest your money somehow. If y'all really want to get an idea of how, I'm going to tell y'all how y'all can at least get an idea of the economy, where it's going. Look, people like to say the stock market is, a lot of people, yeah, the stock market's going up and the economy is doing great. Look, the reason the stock market is going up is because that's where all the money that they're printing, it's going in there. It's going into the stock market. Now, if that money that they printed were to be let loose into the economy, where people could spend it, you would see crazy hyperinflation. I think maybe that's why these stimulus checks that they send them out in stages, because they can't have everybody getting the money and then boom, putting it into the economy. The velocity of money would pick up too much. Okay, look, guys. The stock market is one. Excuse me. The price of the US dollar. That's another mark that you can look at. Okay. Another one, the third one, the oil. It's three, actually. I'm sorry. It's the 10-year yield on the treasury bond, the oil, and the dollar. Those three things affect the stock market. Okay. If you look at those things and you look them up, and they're green, that's usually a good sign that You're not gonna be in a Mad Max situation in the morning. But all kidding aside, man, everything is a lie. It's a deception. It's like a spell that they put on us. And I'm not trying to get all out there, but they have technology, guys. Okay, their technology that they have is such to where that's the only way to describe it. Like if it's magical, okay, but it's so advanced that they can control you by building the reality how you perceive reality. Okay, and I know a lot of you know what I'm talking about. They've literally built up a reality, so that's how we perceive it. But not me. I broke through that spell. I see it for what I see the world for what it is. Okay, and sometimes it's a curse. It's a curse. Once you see that, you can't. There's no going back. But at least you know that you're living in bondage. So I feel like my purpose in this world was to protect my family and make sure that stopped with my family, and maybe I could wake other people up, spread the truth. Um, that the only way is through our Lord Jesus Christ. And I have a lot of work to do. I fall so short of the things that Jesus wants, but my intentions are good. And we're living in a world right now where everybody has to really wake up, man. Y'all gotta wake up. Um, just wake up, man. Y'all gotta wake up, seriously, because the more people that are not understanding what's going on, it's almost like a black hole. Y'all suck down everybody else, because then a lot of y'all want everybody else to do it that way. And when all we're trying to do is tell y'all the truth, because life could be so much better if it wasn't for these people, these billionaires. This world would